First one, Why? Hard, that is hard. I think you feel.
Islam got me in his, Darce choke 2 times. I'm like, God damn it.
Let's go, legend. Brother, you guess, but you have to listen. Instruction of hope.
What? Who says that?
What is this?
No, you have to like Wrong.
Islam's good.
Islam Makhachev isn't wasting any time. He's already locked into training camp for his fight against Jack Della Maddalena. And guess what? He brought back a familiar face. Khabib Nurmagomedov is in his corner. Yes, that Khabib, the legend himself. The energy, it's different. The grind, it's all the way on. The Dagestani machine is revving up again, and this time it feels even more serious than before.
Надо вспоминать свои заготовки и больше их отрабатывать. То, что мы делаем сегодня, в понедельник, всю тренировку мы делали отработки. Осталось.
Вперед тоже делай то же самое. Хорош.
Тагировский апперкот, комбинация. А боковой после апперкота? А боковой после апперкота? Да, он. Вот, отлично, похоже. Да. Он назад не отходил, на месте он. Ой.
Islam's training routine? Brutal. He starts his mornings by running through freezing mountains with barely any oxygen. Every step he takes sends a loud message he's coming in as a machine. No shortcuts, no excuses, just discipline, power, and pain.
Coach Khabib has lost his damn mind, and he does not understand fatigue when he doesn't do everything. And this guy is crazy out here.
Brother,
is this guy really crazy?
You have to come to the camp because this guy pressure push us crazy, and we have all this sparring, couple grappling rounds, couple wrestling rounds, and that's it. We finish all training. But when we finish all these things, he beginning do some other exercise too much.
And then comes sparring. He's rotating sparring partners every few rounds, keeping everything unpredictable. The pace is insane. Khabib watches like a hawk, giving feedback on every tiny mistake. And the plan is simple: shut down Jack's striking with non-stop pressure and perfect timing. Islam isn't just punching the heavy bag, he's analyzing it. He throws sharp combinations with precision. His low kicks are nasty, his jab is fast, and that left hand, it hits like a hammer. He's clearly training for a finish, not a slow, drawn-out fight. On the mats, it's more of the same: takedowns, control drills, vicious ground and pound. Islam's grappling looks sharper than ever, and with Khabib in charge, everything is being pushed to the limit. This isn't a regular training camp, this is preparation for war. Every drop of sweat, every rep, every move is about one thing: breaking down Jack Della Maddalena. And with Khabib by his side again, you can feel it. This isn't just a serious camp. It's personal.
And, what did you start training in? What was the first thing you started doing? Because I seen you put the gi on and you were doing a lot of judo, doing throws. So where did you start?
I start not judo.
No?
I did judo not much. I did sambo.
Sambo.
Yes.
Combat sambo or regular sambo?
Combat sambo.
And then what's the difference from regular sambo to combat sambo?
Regular sambo without punching. Combat sambo, this all punching. You can give
Headbutt?
Headbutt.
Do you wear headgear or no headgear?
Yes, headgear.
Okay.
Headgear. And elbow, everything. MMA just with gi.
Meanwhile, while Islam is out there grinding in the cold, Jack Della Maddalena is preparing his own way. With a very different mindset, he's not buying into the hype, not at all. Jack's confident this fight won't go the way people think. He knows what people say. Islam will take him down, dominate, and finish the fight early. But Jack doesn't believe that's how things will go. He's studied Islam closely, and from what he sees, Islam's striking looks too simple, too predictable. Jack, on the other hand, is all about fluid movement and timing. And he sees a clear gap, and he's ready to exploit it.
As champion now, the UFC says Islam Makhachev is next. What's your message for Islam?
He's one of the best pound-for-pound #1, so it'll be a pleasure to take him out and become pound-for-pound myself.
How does the body feel? Do you think you'd be ready to go if it comes to you facing Islam in Perth?
Yeah, I'll be ready to go right now. Where is he?
Let's go, let's go.
From Jack's point of view, the longer Islam stays standing, the more dangerous things get for him. Jack sees weaknesses, especially against a guy who stays planted and doesn't move slick on his feet. If he can just keep the fight upright, even for a few minutes, Jack believes he can land big, clean shots.
Do you think that he will fight Ilya first and then fight you, or do you think that now?
I don't know. I actually don't know. But I think, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm ready for the challenge. But there's also the welterweight division. There's a lot of good challenges as
Incredible.
well. So it's crazy how the welterweight division sort of kind of opened up a lot. Now there's a lot of challenges, and now you also have Makhachev going to wanting to step up. So yeah, big decisions to be made by the big.
And about Islam moving up to welterweight, Jack isn't impressed. He sees it as a one-time thing. His plan is to welcome Islam to 170 pounds with a rude awakening and then send him straight back down. This isn't just trash talk. Jack has a plan. He's not afraid of the takedown. He's coming in for the knockout.
But I'm sure people are just going to assume that Islam will just take it down. It's a pretty cool fight.
Do you think he'll be big enough for 170?
I think he just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be alright.
Do you think he'll stick around at 170, or do you think it's just...
I think he'll be one fight and then he'll probably have to go back down.
Because of how it'll go?
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think, but Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
Enough for takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
But while Jack is confident he can land that knockout shot, many in the MMA world aren't convinced. People who've seen Islam in person, like Joe Rogan, can't believe he ever made 155. He looks massive, powerful, and far bigger than expected. Now that he's not cutting as much weight, many believe he's going to be even more dangerous at 170. The same control, same wrestling, now with extra size? That is a nightmare for anyone.
Islam Makhachev is huge. I mean, that guy, how he makes 155 is, I don't understand it. Every time I stand next to him, like, how are you 155?
How much do you think he walks around?
He's got to be 190-ish, in the 190 range. He's got to be. That's what he looks like to me.
I never saw him in a person.
Yeah, he's thick. He's thick and big. I mean, he's not a small, he's not a 155-pound man. It's just so silly. I don't understand why they won't just book you and Islam. There's many times that I wish I was running the UFC. I would change so many different things. That would be one of the first things I would change. Like, book that fight right away.
And it's not just Joe Rogan. Many MMA experts are backing Islam. They think he's too smart, too skilled, and too good at pulling fighters into his world. They picture him closing the distance on Jack and just smothering him from beginning to end. Jack wants to test Islam's chin. But the experts, they don't think it'll even be a back-and-forth fight. They believe Islam will dominate.
Mean. But then you got guys like Islam that could do everything. And Umar. This is the difference.
Yeah.
Right? True. Islam is scary standing up. Like, in the beginning of his career, he was really good at wrestling, not as good at standing up, but now he's just as good at standing up. When you KO Volkanovski like that, you know, and then you choke out Dustin Poirier like that guy, that's the full thing.
Like,
yeah,
done.
That dude is on another level. I mean, he is the truth. I was always impressed with him, but, I mean, I was saying, leading up to him getting a shot at the world title, he's the boogeyman of that division. He was the guy that everybody was saying like is the most dominant of all the contenders. And then when he tapped over, that was a big one. When he tapped Dan Hooker, that was a big one too. It's like the way he's tapping these guys who are these world-class fighters, and he's just fucking running through them.
I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, keep it shiny, keep it nice for me. JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean. Okay, so the talking has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer going to get Ilya versus Islam Makhachev just now, but we are going to get a fight at 155, and that's going to be Charles Oliveira, Ilya Topuria, International Fight Week.
But just when everyone seems ready to hand Islam the win, Daniel Cormier jumps in with a different view. DC's not picking sides, he's analyzing everything. Sure, Islam looks big at lightweight, but DC reminds everyone looking big at 155 doesn't automatically mean he'll be big at 170. Jack Della Maddalena is a real welterweight, big, thick, strong, and used to getting hit by big guys. So the real question, can Islam survive 3 or 5 rounds with a powerful, true welterweight coming at him? DC also brings up something important, timing. Islam was already cutting weight for International Fight Week, so how much time does he actually have to build his body back up for this new weight class? It's not just about looking big, it's about feeling powerful, fast, and ready on fight night. If his body isn't adjusted right, it could throw everything off.
Regardless, it's a fantastic fight. It's a big-time fight. And if Jack Della looks the way he did last weekend, it's very, very intriguing fight. Because we've never seen Islam Makhachev fight up at 170 pounds. We've never seen it. We've never seen him have to compete up 15 more pounds. Yes, he is a big dude. But in terms of full-on stature, is he big as Jack Della Maddalena is? And also, if he thought he may fight International Fight Week, how small had he gotten? And how much time does he have to put the weight back on the right way before he moves up to 170? A lot of questions.
And now that Belal Muhammad lost to Jack Della Maddalena, the path is finally clear. Islam can officially move up and fight Jack at welterweight. Fans and analysts have been waiting for this. On Ayora Hawani's show, they even mentioned Islam's tweet. He said, "It's time to become a double champion." That means Islam wants to hold 2 titles, lightweight and welterweight. Now that Belal is out of the way, Islam stepping up to face Jack makes perfect sense. Everyone's excited. Jack was asked about the fight, and his answer was confident and serious. He's not scared. He knows what this opportunity means, and he's ready to prove himself.
Range. Anyway, he just tweeted, "Time to become double champion. Hashtag inshallah, let's go." And so I suppose, as we had all been predicting, if Belal lost, Islam would move up and he would challenge JDM, who was asked, by the way, good question from DC. DC asked him about the fight against Islam. I loved his response. I'll get him back for Vogue, which was great, seeing the Australian unity. But the question that now remains is, and it was made a little complicated yesterday when Islam said, "Yeah, I'll move up, but I ain't vacating the title." Ilya is saying, "I ain't fighting for no interim belt or number 1 contender belt." What the hell does that mean? Personally, and I'd love to ask you, okay, let's just assume Islam is going to move up now to 170. He has to vacate the title. If the dude who is sitting there waiting for a title fight at 155 just vacated his title, the 155 title has to be vacated.
But not everything is smooth. There's still a big question mark hanging over Islam's lightweight belt. He says he wants to move up to welterweight, but he also doesn't want to give up his 155-pound title. At the same time, Ilya Topuria is waiting. He's next in line for a lightweight title shot, but he's not willing to wait around or fight for an interim belt. He wants the real title, period. Now, the UFC has a problem. If Islam keeps holding the lightweight belt and fights at welterweight, it could block the whole lightweight division. Fans want answers. They want active champions. They don't want delays or fake belts. The UFC has to figure out what to do before everything gets stuck.
I agree 100%. I mean, and I don't understand how the UFC would give, in this situation with 3 divisions basically being affected over the course of this, why they would give Islam, all power over the situation. I really don't know why they would do that. It doesn't make business sense. And Ilya Topuria, arguably, I mean, I know Islam does numbers. It's crazy. Like, it seems like he's a little quieter, but he does numbers. But Ilya Topuria might be one of the biggest stars in the sport. So I don't know how you're going to say that his fight with Charles, if this is what ends up happening, is not for a belt.
No, it's got to be.
It's got to be, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And you're not going to create a sort of interim belt while he's off on a lark. It doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like that he would have to.
What do you think? Do you think that this is inevitable, that he is going to be next? Is that what you're feeling?
I will just leave it with the UFC, but I think if he's yeah, I think that a lot was riding on it, and I think you'd give Islam a shot. That's what I think the UFC will do, but I don't know.
Michael Bisping broke it down perfectly. Jack is the welterweight champ now. His first title defense? A huge showdown with Islam Makhachev. This is the moment Islam's been waiting for. He doesn't want another rematch with Volkanovski. He's not looking for a defense against Topuria. He wants more. He wants greatness. Islam knows that beating smaller fighters won't add to his legacy, but moving up and taking down a monster like Jack at 170, that's the kind of win legends are made of. And Bisping's right. Islam has defended his lightweight title more times than anyone recently. He's earned the right to aim high. He's already the pound-for-pound best. Now, this jump to welterweight isn't some random move. It's his shot at being a two-division champ, something only the greatest fighters ever have done. But there's still one big question left. Should Islam have to give up his lightweight belt while chasing welterweight gold? Or should the UFC create an interim champ while he's away? Nobody has the perfect answer, but one thing is clear. This fight between Jack and Islam is going to change everything. Whether you believe in Jack's striking and knockout power, or you're riding with Islam's control and dominance, this is one of those fights that you cannot miss. So tell us, who do you think wins, Jack or Islam? Let us know in the comments.